Good morning. Good morning. It is Sunday morning. Good morning, everybody. What is crappening here on the tubes? Listen, get your coffee. Get your coffee this morning. We got some things to talk about. Good morning, Sherry and Daz and Angie B. Frag. We got Potato here. We got Shell here. We got Amy here. We got the gang out here. Frag is here. Sin. It's Sunday, Sin Day. Just kidding. Just Teresa, good morning. Choo choo. Everyone should go look at Body's spreadsheet. Wealth of knowledge on interviews. What do you mean, wealth of knowledge? I saw the list of the things. Aw, Music City, you're not feeling good. Hi, Pine Cooter. Body Cooter. Nurseykins Cooter. The voice of reason. Why? What's going on? What's happening? Is all hell breaking loose and I'm not aware of it? Aw, Amy says, Jay, I told your chat 2 weeks ago. Hang on, I gotta take this noise reduction thingy off. Or, no, I guess it's not on. I told your chat 2 weeks ago. I took in my grandson. Happy to report he's gained weight, thriving in school, and doing very well. Wanted to share the good news update. That's awesome, Amy. Hey, Sarah. Oh, there's notes too with the interviews. Nice. Drinking from my cup. Hey, Ochi. Prime, how are you? That is really good news. Thank you for sharing, Amy. Amazing news. Amazing news. Ooh, coffee tastes really good this morning. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so my title, what's brainwashing got to do with it? I just saw that Mr. and Mrs. E did a thing last night on brainwashing, which I thought was interesting, I guess. I'm going to show you a little bit of that. We're going to talk about the slivers on the scene and his latest bullshit. Hold on. But first of all, what we're going to talk about first is the fact that there is a new ride scheduled. And that would be November what? November 7th. Good morning, Irish. Thank you, Candy Wrapper. Candy Wrapper, did you see that Corey Richards' new lawyer wasn't aware it was a death penalty case or something like that? Good morning, Ember. Choo choo. Don't mess with my toot toot. Don't mess with my toot toot. I know you have another woman, but don't mess with my toot toot. Yeah, I ain't gonna be bitching today. I can't handle bitching today. So I'm just gonna show you what has been sent to me. So first of all, this is, how do I make this? There we go. You can't see me, but that's okay. This is Michelle Leigh. Now, you guys remember at the Vigil? Well, actually, it would be in Clue's body cam. The girl that said, oh, well, I thought she was served, yada, yada. Oh, no, Kay. Sitting in Upper Michigan with double vertigo. That's not good. I hope you feel better soon. So this is Michelle Leigh. This is the chick, the skinny chick. The one that, went and looked at Clue's license plate and shit. There's new charges. Thank you, Candy. This is the one that went and looked at her license plate and da 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 da. So this is also the one that was requesting clips of things I said about Tony or Seth on Facebook. As the world turns, literally, right? I hope you feel better. Vertigo's the worst. Exactly, Shell. The one asking for clips from everyone. Mm-hmm. That be her. So this is Michelle Lee on Facebook. Now, mind you, she said, my family members own that property. And she was, talking about where Clue was. You guys remember that? She was like, I could have them removed or whatever. My family members own that property or whatever. The one in the green shirt. Yes, Kenny. Yes, her. Yes, her. So allegedly, her family members own the bar, the brewery. Because I was wondering myself, I'm like, why would that brewery have them back after that shit show? Yes, Barbara. Another Vigil and ride. So it's the exact same as the last one, except this time there's no Michaela's Mutt Motel sponsoring. It's just Jacob's Audibles, and it's being held at the thing, at the brewery. I'm blocked from their Facebook, so I can't see Find Sebastian Rogers. Oh, she does? She lives in Clarksville, Choo-choo? I know, Lovey. She's, I'm telling you. Okay, so let's read through her post. Sweet Jones. I'm here to, okay, she says, okay, I'm here to say it because a lot of people won't. These YouTube creators are full of drama and clickbait. Trust me, I know I could have done the same with one of my platforms, but I chose not to because this is an innocent child who deserves to be found. No parent is perfect. We all have our flaws. However, and I do agree with that, we all do have our flaws. Absolutely we do. I like him too, Sin. However, after your child goes missing, how you react and search for your child does not matter. Wait. However, after your child goes missing, how you react and search for your child does matter. So with that being said, to all you YouTube creators using clickbait, stop, grow up. I get you need to make money, blah, blah. But Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers deserves better. None of you lately, maybe a few, have kept it about actually finding Sebastian. The rest of you want to talk crap about people who are volunteering their time to come and help. Hey, guess what? Get off the couch if you can. That much. And come help by all means. Because you talking smack and creating drama isn't helping Sebastian. I said I wouldn't stoop this low, but I've had it with the clickbait bullcrap. I do too, Gold Bulldogs. I agree with you. Wait. Half of you aren't even covering the case anymore. You're just using people who are volunteering their time to keep. Oh, it's cut off right there. Whatever, her bitch. Okay. Then this Michelle says, Judy Coleman, it's not worthless to all of us volunteers who have personally been contacted and stalked. Our family's business and the people holding the vigil. It's beyond insane at this point. I've never seen so much hate towards having a vigil for a child by people who aren't even here or have never been here to help. Good morning, Sane. Good to see you. She does have old charges. But what is with all of this stalking and threats that Seth's side says they're getting all the time? Michelle Lee, I'd like to see a copy of the police report where you reported this to Clarksville police. Yeah, apparently her family owns the brewery. That must be why, Sarah. But I want to know who is doing all this stalking. Hey Blair, who's threatening them and personally contacting them? Because the last I heard, the last vigil, Tony Mathis had Mutt Motel grabbing IPs from emails. What's the SW case? Who's SW, Wood Fairy? I'm having a mind blank. Summer Wells? A brewery was meant. I never heard a brewery, and I never heard whiskey barrels. I've just heard those big burn barrels, and she's dancing in front of one of those. I think that's getting misconstrued. I've never heard that. I've never heard anything about whiskey barrels. Just that metal barrel that she's dancing in front of that says for sale. Someone corny doing the stalking? Corny. Okay, so then she says here, Michelle Lee, Rachel Parada, it won't work. I know they called and messaged my own family's business with lies. When I say I'm over it, I'm done. CPD, which is Clarksville Police, will never put up with that trash in our town, in my opinion. Which is why I love CPD. Because here, if you have proof someone is stalking and messaging you, they will throw them in jail so they can fuck around and find out. Fuck is she talking about? Michelle Lee refused to discuss the C&Ds sent out inside the Facebook group, sent me a private message, then unsent her message and blocked me from the group. I just don't know who the hell is doing, like, I just want to know if they fucking reported this. So then this Rachel says, I can't believe these creators are trying to take down mutt cuts in Clarksville. They have no right. What's mutt cuts? Now, this is a new one for me. Is she talking about the Mutt Motel, or she just wants to say fuck around and find out? Lovey says this whole thing is not where you have vigils. It seems more of a Sean vigil for attention, where they can drink, in my opinion. Thank you, Angie. Thanks. I've got like some sinus thing going on, like allergies or something. But yeah, I mean, I just want to see the proof. So here's Michelle. Rachel Prada. It won't work. And we will stop it. These creators are all drama. They would never come here. I can promise you, and actually try anything. I will personally make it where if people come here harassing anyone helping this case, my goal is to have them arrested. If they are not here for Sebastian, I can promise you, CPD will never tolerate this BS in person. There's a Mutt Cuts in Kentucky. Weird. There were whiskey barrels stored under the gray house on the hill. I've never heard that, Wood Fairy. And I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but I've never heard that. Mutt cuts. Right. Sit down. Sit down, Michelle. Sit down. In that chair right there. Yeah, what doggy cooter? Let me see something here. Mutt cuts. I think she's talking about the Mutt Motel. No, Mutt cuts grooming. What? Mutt cuts is different than Michaela. Hold on. I can't believe these creators are trying to take down Mutt cuts in Clarksville. They have no right. This is Mutt cuts. And it's right in Clarksville. Mutt cuts grooming. Catherine Staggs. Mutt Cuts is your neighborhood grooming facility located in Clarksville, Tennessee. Our facility has been open since November 03 under one owner, Catherine Staggs. We are conveniently close to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Blah, blah, blah. Why would anyone be trying to get these people shut down? I don't understand. Tiny Town Road in Clarksville. Mutt Cuts Grooming. Why would anybody try to get them shut down? That's weird. No one even knew who these people were. No one's trying to take anybody down. That was from Dumb and Dumber? Really? Hey, Tiffany, good morning. Yeah, it says Clarksville. Mutt Cuts is your neighborhood grooming facility located in Clarksville. But hey, FYI, Michelle, no one's trying to take your fucking businesses down. No one even knows what your businesses are. No one's aware. Okay? No one's trying to take anybody down. I want to see proof of threats, what creators you're talking about. I know these creators are doing this. These creators are doing that. Quirky Triggers says Mutt Cuts is just down the street from my niece. I saw it when I went to her baby shower. Yeah, no one even ever mentioned Mutt Cuts. I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. But here we go, okay? Hey, Lala. You're not late. We're just shooting the breeze, really. So this is this is Mr. and Mrs. E. They were without the other wife last night, whenever they did this. But the topic was brainwashing. And I felt like they were alluding to the fact that, you know, creators were brainwashing their audience. And that it's like the mob mentality type thing. And we're going to get into SF in just a minute. I have his Twitter pulled up. Thank you for the reminder. Oh my God. Oh my God, SF on. What the fuck is going on? Dude, these people are clowns on Twitter. Twitter has always freaked me out because they are fucking brutal. All right, we'll get into SF next. But right now I want to talk about, you know, brainwashing. So what I found when I opened up their video first was Seth commenting, always question everything. So we have him complaining that we're questioning everything because I don't know Seth Rogers. I don't know Chris Proudfoot. I don't know Katie Proudfoot. I don't know any of those people. I've never spoken to any of them. nor do I want to. So, Seth Rogers, I question everything. You're damn right. You should question everything. So, his own words, again, only apply what? They only apply to his narrative. Like, only question everything. Well, if I question everything, right, I get attacked. I get called that I'm hating and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm defaming. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I know, sister wife vibes. I know. It's weird. But he says question everything. As you should. I have always made it clear I'm only here to present to you things, and you make up your own mind. But I damn sure question things when they hit me in the gut and they don't feel right. Then that questioning goes deeper, and that's what's happened to Seth Rogers. In my opinion, that's what's happened. Because now I see all of the Team Seth people going way back. They're going way back, way back. You fake MCs are on your way back. Way back. You remember that song? They're on their way back. No, I didn't, Choo Choo. I don't make it a habit to watch Nick these days. I find it to be, I don't know, just not even like nothing. There's nothing there. You know what I mean? That's right. You're not asking the right questions. You're not asking the right questions. What are the right questions? But they're going way back to Chris and Katie in the very beginning, and they're trying to like dissect like the people dissected Seth's interviews. Except Seth's interviews continued and continued and continued. If you look at the list on Body's spreadsheet, how many are Chris and Katie and how many are Seth? Or Seth and Tony? Or whatever. Sweet Jones, Nick just talks about nothing. Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I was like, okay, what's he going to say? It's nothing new. I mean, there's nothing new. She does have a mean spreadsheet. I agree. But tons of interviews with Seth Rogers, right? And that's what we have. He's been micro dissected. Kelly, what's up with the same background? They're sitting next to each other. See her arm? See? They're at the same table. Okay, so let's go back. The title of this is about brainwashing, right? So we're going to read some of the comments because I can't play this. I can't get through it all. But it says destructive individuals and cults use deception and undue influence to make people dependent and obedient. And then we have Lady Tit for Tat, which she used to come in the channel. I actually miss her. She was very smart. Mr. E, I would truly want to see proof of these death threats. I'm challenging that part. Trust, but verify. We hear about the death threats, but we never see the police reports behind it. So true. Oh, I know. Be in Florida. That is so fucking true. He did, JR. You're right. It seemed ironic that the E's said they seek truth, but promoted watching, in my opinion, Gumball Josh, profanity spewing CJ, propaganda BJ and BHB, and all this biased garbage, allegedly, in my opinion. I haven't watched CJ lately, so I don't know about him. There are no receipts of these threats ever since the Cajun Navy. There's never been.
I said to you that I had received a death threat. If you like our position and you enjoy our channel, you're more likely to believe it. If you don't like our positions or our channel, you might think it's a hoax, right? And if I say,
see, and that's where you need to prove the shit, right? If you're gonna sit there and say I'm getting death threats, which I love their Yorkie, by the way. If you're saying I'm getting death threats, and then the cops say there's been no reports, where did SF receive death threats? I never saw that.
Say that to you, I might be trying to persuade you to feel more sympathy for me, or not like the people that I'm alleging the death threats came from. So all those persuasive tactics are powerful.
Well,
and then here comes Bullhorn Betty. I have 2 reports with Goodlettsville. Hey, Remy. Yeah, we're doing good. I have 2 reports with Goodlettsville. Oh, you guys can't see it. Hold on. Look. She's saying she got death threats in Goodlettsville. Who lives in Goodlettsville? Turlin. I have 2 reports with Goodlettsville.
Bullhorn Betty says she has.
What the fuck was that?
Well,
Bullhorn tactics are powerful. The death threats came from. So all those persuasive tactics are powerful.
Well,
the fuck was that?
Bullhorn Betty says she has 2 reports with Goodlettsville. Okay, I did not know that.
Well, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
So there's at least 2 there. I actually forgot about yours.
It's a Shih Tzu.
We weren't even thinking about her.
Yeah, there's been so many I've heard about. You had the Uvalde group, you had the Cajun Navy. I don't know, half dozen or so different creators, and Seth and Dog and all these people.
You hear this? Jay, they have a child with autism. They do? I'm sorry, I don't know anything about their personal life. It just sounds like somebody is crying. And thank you, Kelly, for your PayPal. I appreciate you. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Yeah, we've got the Cajun Navy, all these groups, they never filed reports with Sumner County. Mr. and Mrs. didn't even get the route Bullhorn Betty took back to Hendersonville, correct? So much for local accuracy. I haven't watched them. I didn't know either, but I was asking what it was. It sounded like someone crying. I was like, what the fuck? Who is that? Nothing about their son. I wasn't putting their son down. Nothing about that. I don't know them personally. Don't care. Don't care how many kids they have. I don't care where they live. I don't care anything personal about them. Let's just get that out in the open. Good morning, Golf Inspector.
Lisa B always says, I trust Coffin Daffer regarding the threats.
Yeah.
Did she
Oops.
receive one also?
I just think she mentioned Dog and Nick's.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's another thing. You had the attorney go out there and make that claim. I don't know if that attorney would go out there and say that.
She said threats were made publicly too, and she has receipts.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Bullhorn Betty says the threats were made publicly, and I have receipts. Threats to who? What is she talking about? Do you see how they just pin her comments? Oh yeah, let's just pin one side of the comments of Bullhorn Betty. Wow.
Okay. Oh, like on someone's channel and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't doubt.
On someone's channel, he says, "I don't doubt it."
I mean, there's so much that happens up there. I don't doubt that at all. So, so if anyone wants to check that, I guess you could check. Goodlettsville is technically Davidson County.
Yes.
So yeah, you could check Davidson County records. I suppose for that. I'm going to guess that might have been the time.
No, we can't check it, and y'all know it too. You two know that you have to be a Tennessee resident to check the records?
She was in town around June or so.
I would
maybe.
guess.
Yeah. But think of that. These people that are
So in June, they're saying check the records for June, but we can't unless we're residents there.
doing death threats and doing these outrageous, and it happens in other parts of YouTube and true crime also, where people have gone way beyond, have gone real life on people criminally. And
how do these people know this? When did they start their channel? Hold on. I got to do a little investigating. I've never looked at their channel. When did they even start? How does he know? April 23rd, 2024, they started their channel. He started in April, and he knows all about YouTube and other aspects of YouTube. Who are these people? Ugh, they use Chat GPT for their about section. Let's go back and see their oldest vid. So they started right out the gate on Sebastian. This is the first video.
Elevated it about a week later.
I think though what happened specifically as I saw it, keep a lookout. My friends, it was a friend of a friend who posted my friend's child is missing. If you see him, here's his description. Here's a picture.
A friend of a friend? Wait, hold on. I want to see what they say. This is their very first one. Slim Hauser.
Welcome to the Mr. E Crime Cast. I'm Mr. E. This is Mrs. E, and we are going to be digging into the Sebastian Rogers case. This is one of those stories that has really...
Did he say Roberts at first?
Caught the attention of thousands of people in our community, and really at this point all over the country and the globe even. If you've been following this story already for several months now, you have watched it as it's progressed from what seemed like a kind of simple, in a way, disappearance of a child. And as this story has unraveled and progressed, different twists and turns, and has become a lot more, there are theories and message boards all over the place with all kinds of ideas and information. It seems like every day there's a new little piece or a new detail that emerges that sheds more light on what really happened here and what's going on. It's really a fascinating mystery. We've been obsessed with it. We talk about it all the time within our own marriage here. And what we thought we would do is, I mean, there's a lot of different people.
We talk about it all the time within our marriage. He said Sean's middle name. He said Sebastian Roberts. I think he just said it wrong.
With autism or a relative with special needs like this is one of those things that it's always kind of in the back of your mind that your kid might wander off, get lost, not be able to recognize their name or their surroundings, or not have an appropriate sense of danger and those kinds of things. So we live with that fear every day. So when I saw that story, you just feel
okay. So they have an autistic child, so it caught their
I
attention.
shared it with everyone I knew, passed it along, knowing I have lots of friends there. Maybe somebody would see them. And I was really hesitant to tell my wife about the story because as much as I know that kind of thing hurts me, I knew if I told her that night, she wouldn't even be able to sleep. So my hope was that, well, maybe by tomorrow morning, there will be a report that they found him overnight, maybe in another neighborhood or someone's playground or something. And that was my hope. And I was like, I just won't bother her with that. She won't sleep well if I do. So I don't remember exactly when you first found out about the story. Was it that morning or later that night?
Let's see. I think I think it was, it was all over Facebook right away in our surrounding community. And I think I probably saw it just a few hours after it all happened. It was pre-Amber Alert for sure.
Right.
I'm trying to think.
Because Amber Alert was almost a week later. They did that endangered child that morning,
right,
and then elevated it about a week later.
I think though what happened specifically as I saw it, keep a lookout. My friends, it was a friend of a friend who posted my friend's child is missing. If you see him, here's his description. Here's a picture.
Oh, you saw it. You saw it from someone you knew.
Yes, from someone I knew that morning.
Yeah.
But I looked through when we were kind of talking about doing this episode. I looked through my Facebook and I did not post anything until the next day. And I think it's because there wasn't anything official out. There was no official flyer until the next day.
There wasn't a lot of information there right at the beginning. There was just that one little shot with the details that I was saying. That was still on my Facebook because I had written a little message with it when I posted. And Mine went up that night, but there wasn't a lot of details out there at first. And so, I know my assumption was that the kid probably had autism, because we've seen these stories so many times, right? Like over the years where I think maybe a couple years ago, there was one in Nashville where an old,
Well, it
he was
came
an
out. We
adult,
knew he had
but
autism.
he had autism and made his
What is
way
he
down the street.
talking
Was
about?
eventually found. It was about 8 hours later. And then you hear these other stories in other states. Hunt and man search is going
4 days ago, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
He's saying, what
This
do you think it was
was-
like 6 weeks ago?
That's
it was out
why
there, or-
I knew we would be going through the
May
timeline, and I had to
12th.
write all
Oh
that
my
down.
God. Their first fucking live stream. I can't. Y'all, May 12th. May 12th. I don't know why I didn't look at the date to begin with. What happened around May 12th? Tony came on the scene. Jules came on the scene. Terry Lynn. Yep. We sure did know that on 226. You're right. Mr. Mathis. You know what else? And I hate to say this because I know y'all love him. But I can't get past the fact that Stephen Crabtree made his foundation on May 14th. That he filed it in Tennessee on May 14th to help families of missing people with money. May 14th. Their first live, May 12th. Jules was on my show, May 1st, with fake stuff. Ugh. This fucking timeline, man. May is the month of madness. It's May madness in this case. That's when it all started. Choo choo. What was filed 5/14? Oh my gosh. Okay. The hell's the name of his foundation? Stephen Crabtree started a foundation on May 14th when he was still in with Tony. They doxed you May 11th, Music City. What was the name of his? Is it ACT or something? It's just weird, dude. I don't want to call people out, but damn. What's the name of his website again? Your birthday's May 14th. Hey, True Crime. Yep, it's May Madness. The Ask Project. That's right. Ask, not ACT. AskPCT.com. So this website, which is very well put together, was created and filed by Stephen Crabtree on May 14th. Miss K, there you go. And May 30th, Crabtree went to Warsham's and Tony hired SC. Who's SC? On TikTok 4 Hour Live May 30th. Oh, Stephen Crabtree. Yeah, Vanish and Corrupt. I just don't understand. I know that he said he was doing instruments and things like that. And he may have done that to like convince some subs to like, say everything's good. But if you look at this, that was filed on May 14th in Tennessee, you can look it up yourself. All you have to do is go to the Tennessee court records. But it says here what they do. A mission-based organization, which he changed that. It used to say nonprofit. It used to say nonprofit until I called out that he doesn't have a nonprofit. He has an LLC. A mission-based organization here to help you. At the Ask Project, we want families of missing persons to know they are not alone. We are here to provide financial assistance, resources, and support to those involved in the search process and families of missing persons. We understand the challenges and hardships that come with a missing loved one. And we are dedicated to bringing hope and light to those who need it most. Together, we can make a difference and bring missing children back to their families. I don't see shit about instruments. And that is my point. And then we have this sad kid holding a teddy bear. And yeah, all it is on here is merch. But does that really matter? The intent on May 14th. Oh, yeah, he plays the dumb golden retriever act. But let's not forget, this guy has a criminal history. He has a background. He's street smart. I'm not saying he's still, the same person he was. But what I'm saying is, he's not dumb. The dude was breaking into houses. He told us himself. So someone who can break into houses is not dumb, is not a golden retriever in life. They're pretty damn street smart. In addition to supporting families, we also provide assistance to the communities where a person has gone missing. We understand that the search for a missing person involves a wide range of people, from law enforcement to volunteers. That's why we offer resources such as funding for search parties, hotel rooms for out-of-town volunteers, and food for those involved in the search. Right. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not here to get in the middle of drama, but Crabtree is incredibly helpful while I've been here. He searches nonstop. A few months ago, he gave $4,000 to the fam of Layla Santinello for search. Right, but where did that money come from? I get that, SF. But when you go to it, when he says he's providing instruments, and you come here, you're like, what's going on? Especially since he was connected with Tony. So, in all fairness, that's where my skepticism comes from. And that's not on, I don't know. I just think it's weird. But I appreciate that, SF. I just wish that what he said matched what was on here. And then they took it off. It used to say our inspiration was Sebastian Rogers, and now that's been changed since I cut it off. And if he gave $4,000 to their family, why, when he showed his analytics, did he have zero? He's like, oh, I haven't done anything with this. It's weird, right? He said his site never made a dime. Where's this funding coming from? And yes, SF, thank you for all you're doing for Sebastian. Okay, but if he's just doing it out of the goodness of his heart, why do you have this? Why do you have this? That's what I don't understand. This is an LLC. It's not set up as a nonprofit. And they're talking about gathering money. I don't know. It's fucking weird to me. Sorry, I'm just going to say I think it's fucking weird. But anyway, you guys asked. I told you he started it May 14th. So this whole timeline thing is just weird. So this is the first video, May 14th. Hey, Bella. I don't know. I just think that people that worked with Tony should do things, you know, by the book. Like, that's just, it's sketchy. I'm sorry. It appears sketchy to me. Because we all excused Terry Lynn's bullshit because she was out there handing out flyers. And then we found out later that her fucking YouTube was on there. So I don't know people's intentions. And I'm just not willing to put myself in a position to promote someone that I'm not sure of their intentions because I don't fucking know them. Now, as far as SF goes, he met him personally. So, I mean, that's his experience. That's not my experience. And I'm not saying don't trust him. I'm just saying it's weird. Why talk about instruments and not have it on your website and then advertise your website? He advertised it. I didn't dig that up. He showed it. So, Melanator, good to see you. Say a prayer for me, honey. Terry Lynn is flip-flopping and still doing weird stuff. I think she was searching legit and got wrapped up. Yeah, something. I'm telling you, something or someone wrapped these people up. And I'm not even saying it's Crabtree's fault. I think he got wrapped up with Tony and it was a huge mistake. But I don't know what kind of deals they made, right? I mean, I had Uncle Taco sitting here saying he violated a contract by being on my show and people calling him saying, get off that panel, get off that panel. That's just weird to me. I hope so. I hope he's on the up and up. If he is on the up and up, I just think that he needs to do things by the book. Yes, we are all on guard, and we should be. We all are on guard, and we should be. It's nothing personal. And that's the thing. Everybody's so damn emotionally connected to people. It's so weird. Well, he did edit it. It looks edited to me. You know what I'm saying? I just showed you the 2 edits that he made since I called it out. So obviously he knows how to edit, or he had someone edit it already. And I still don't see anything about instruments. So. And JR, I'm completely on board with you. People are way too emotionally invested. And I'll tell you what, this whole autism part of this case has gotten people emotionally even more invested. You got these guys, oh, we have an autistic kid. You got Crabtree's has an autistic kid. Like, none of that has anything to do with Sebastian. Can I just say that? I have several people that I'm close to that have autistic children, and they haven't brought their children into this case. You know why? Because no 2 autistic people are the same. None of them. You won't find 2 twinsies with autism. So in my opinion, it's used as an emotional tool, and I don't like it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, one of my moderators, very, very close to her, has an autistic child. And I've never seen her bring that shit up when it comes to Sebastian's case. He admitted he was making changes and possibly deleting the site. Whatever. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Someone asked. I'm just putting the timeline together. He started the site May 14th when he was in with Tony. So you think, I mean, what the fuck does that tell you? What does that tell you? It was made May 14th. He may not be with Tony now, but when he made the fucking site, he was. So what were the intentions is my question. Because Tony didn't have good intentions according to Crabtree. So what were the intentions when he made that site? And was it in concert with Tony? Was this a Tony plan? Because I've always felt like Tony wanted a fucking foundation. Amy, I have 2 autistic girls. They're 18 months apart. They're way different than each other. It just doesn't make sense to bring that up. Like, oh, I have like, I understand. No, you don't. I don't care about Steven's website. I was just showing it because someone asked. Because we're talking about the first video they made was May the 12th. But then they clearly told us in the first video that they had been following the case since day 1. You know what I'm saying? Why did it take them until May to get on YouTube? You heard them say, we were all over Facebook. We were all over Facebook in the beginning. I'm sorry they did that to you, Music City. They were all over Facebook, so where do you think Tony found them? I wonder if it was Facebook. Isn't that weird? Evelyn says, I have 5 grown-up children, 4 on the spectrum, none alike. Quinny, me too. Who said what? Sarah, Sarah. I remember a lot of people were all poor Seth in the early months. Right. And then Terry Lynn wanted to convince me that Seth had autism. And it's like, come on, stop it. But I'm just confused. Why it took them from the end of February when they first heard to May 12th. The timing is impeccable with all of this. I want to know how they found this crew. Did they go looking for Terry Lynn? Because she's a grifter. I don't know. I don't know how they all hooked up, but the timing is impeccable. So, all right, let's keep listening.
To correct me, but they throw the label. They don't have any intention of producing any evidence because we don't lie to our audience. So I knew there was nothing there, and so I almost considered just responding back.
Oh, they're talking about a comment they got that they lie to their viewers. So I think when people say they're lying to their viewers, is like they're only presenting one side to their viewers.
If you feel that way, please provide any evidence that I've ever lied to our audience. And of course, but then you're just playing with the troll. So it's better to just block and move on, actually. But that's just an example of what I mean when this person to back that up and actually get questions and
okay, wait.
My second channel.
Most of these people are probably too young to remember Saturday Night Live. Do you remember John Lovitz?
I wanted to mention then dehumanizing language. So this is real common too, especially.
Listen to this.
Of course, this is all broad, but it applies to true crime too. Animals, rats, snakes, pigs, things of that nature. People start doing that kind of talk, where they might call someone, call you a racist or homophobe, or what has happened a lot in this case, somebody will try to put the label of the P word on people.
The P word. Try to put the label of a P word. Kathy, no, an LLC is not a nonprofit. But in Tennessee, you can have an LLC and a nonprofit, but an LLC is not nonprofit, no. I just want to say something, okay? The P word on people. I don't know what people they're talking about, but the only time I've heard the P word or someone being a P word is when they've talked about Seth meeting Katie at 22 or 21 and her being 12. And then the alleged grooming that took place while she was a teenager. These are Seth's friends. I'm not sure if they talked to Seth, but it sure seems like they talked to Nick. He just commented, and they talked to probably Tony, and Bullhorn Betty. I believe, hey, Juliar, correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't these people there when Betty got out of jail? Or am I wrong about that? I heard that. Hey, UI or UA. Why do I call you UI? UA.
With no evidence, no convictions, no arrests, anything like that at all. And
So in order to be a P word, to them, you have to be arrested or convicted. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree with that? They were at the courthouse for BHB and at the Vigil. Vigil. The Vigil. Do you guys agree with that, though? Does it take a conviction or an arrest for someone to be a P word? What do you guys think about that? Do you officially become a P word when you're prosecuted? Or can you be a P word and get away with it? Because from what I heard from the Department of Homeland Security, Mr. E, and this is the Department of Homeland Security, not Mr. E's True Crime Podcast, the Homeland Security says there are 500,000 pedos on the internet every day. So if it takes someone being convicted to be a pedo, I call bullshit. No way. No way. Predators, pedos, whatever. Department of Homeland Security has told parents there are 500,000 of them online every day. I feel like this is a dangerous message that these people are putting out, and I have to wonder why. Isn't that a disturbing message? Stephen Stearns wasn't convicted either until Maddie was dead.
and what they're on, or animals, rats, snakes, pigs, things of that nature. People start doing that kind of talk, where they might call someone, call you a racist or homophobe, or
Ask Diddy, exactly.
or what has happened a lot in this case, somebody will try to put the label of the P word on people with no evidence, no convictions, no arrests, anything like that at all. And what they're trying to do when people do that with no evidence or backing to it, they're trying to dehumanize the person they're attacking so that their audience in that group, their cult, is more comfortable committing crimes against that person because they're lesser than human. You don't have to.
No, that's not true. That is not. And you know what? I consider pedos lesser than human. You don't, Mr. E? Really? Do you guys consider pedos lesser than human? Because guess what? I ain't got no room for pedos. And guess what? That's why Tennessee has the death penalty for them. Exactly, Sane. Stearns isn't convicted, but with video and photographic evidence, we all agree is a P, yes? Pedo is defined by the attraction, not conviction or charges. That's a really good way to put it. Okay, let's do a poll. That's a good idea. Is Stephen Stearns a P word before he's convicted? Let's do it. Let's do it. Why won't it let me start a poll? Oh, I know why. Hang on. I just find this to be a dangerous, dangerous fucking message. All right, so here we go. Is Stearns a before conviction? And we do have evidence that he is. So there you go. Well, the sexual innuendos, the age difference between him and Katie, I mean, it's disturbing. And I just think it's disturbing. And people say, What does that have to do with Sebastian being missing? The problem is we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. And to back up the reason why people think the way they do about Seth is because of all of the things that he lied about, right? He lied about, no, Sebastian didn't have any internet at my house. No, he wasn't on gaming. He was only on mine and he didn't use headphones. You know, all of that. And that changes the entire dynamic of the case. Going from not online to online is huge. In China, they changed it from 12 to 16. Wow. The nakedness, yes. Exactly, Lovey. We talked about a case yesterday where a 22-year-old or whatever he was at Disney was taking pictures over the stall of a 10-year-old boy. It's inappropriate behavior. It's not having boundaries. You know, all of these things go along with that kind of behavior. And, you know, as much as people can say that Chris Proudfoot's not likable, I don't think he's all that likable. But I don't think Seth is all that likable either. And why does he care if people find him likable? What would be the only reason we would need to find Seth likable? Donations, in my opinion, is the only reason, because everybody cares about Sebastian. We all care about Sebastian. I mean, that is abundantly clear because we're still talking about him. So why do we need to like Seth? Why do we need to like Chris or Katie? Aren't we here to make sure that Sebastian doesn't get forgotten? Right, he's saying, oh my God, Donnie, that is absolutely disgusting. Being labeled transphobic is more of a sin now than being labeled a pedo. Frightening. Right, I mean, they're not likable. But you don't see Chris going, oh, why don't people like me and quit saying I'm this, I'm that. He doesn't give a shit. But why does Seth so badly need to prove that, you know, our perception of him is wrong? Because all the facts show that we can't trust what he said. And it's not anything personal. Like I said, I don't know the guy. I don't want to know the guy. Because personally, if Sebastian is out there and he's alive, I don't think Seth is going to get custody of him. And let's not forget all the talk about, oh, my electronics. And it could be just a control thing. But again, it makes him very unlikable. And hell, it could be all three know where Sebastian is and what happened. And it could be that all three have no fucking clue. But these people right here are like, oh, when he showed his timesheets, that was, you know, that was it for me. I could never question him again. Exactly, Sane. I'm reading all of your comments. Chris said we can hate him and he'll take all the BS as long as we find Sebastian. Gotcha says he'll be lucky to get to see him. Fit to be Tied says, I don't think Seth was ever going to get custody. Yeah, the concern with the electronics is really crazy. I find it crazy that some can call Chris being married 5 times is a red flag, but Seth dating a teen isn't. I mean, really, Chris being married 5 times should only be a red flag to whoever's going to marry him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a warning, like, oh, hey, he's been married 4 times. Like, you might not want to be the 5th. But to date a teen, that's something that everyone should be warned about, in my opinion. SF says, Seth never fights back directly against the P allegations. He has never said the allegations of being a P are not true. If I was accused, I'd be screaming 24/7, the allegations are false. I think any man would, SF. Any man would be like, that is one thing you are not going to get away with calling me. Sean was worried about those gaming systems, and then he had a paranoid attack when they told him they were going back a year or more with his phone. Amy says, I don't know if I like any of them. I don't know them. We know them in a time of trauma, not who they are. That's a good point, too. Hey, Mick, I hope you feel better soon. Quinny says, again, I don't think Seth hurt Sebastian, but I have an issue with Sebastian being alone 12 hours a day. I just do personally. I do, too. I saw a dog, told Mathis. Oh, yeah, I saw that he would take care of him. And then, yeah, he chuckled. When Sean talked about it, wasn't urine and was other bodily fluid, grossed me out. Yeah, the stories. Exactly, Riverhouse. It was sick that Stern's parents said they saw Madeline put her arm around him showing affection. It's because she was groomed. True Crime and Other Stuff says another red flag is Seth not having a girlfriend after Katie. Vegas Gem doesn't think the timesheets mean shit. The timesheets left me with more questions than answers, you know? Any man would be like, that is one, yeah, I mean, that's one thing. Sean has a lot to say, except about the P stuff. I mean, to have straight up SF put it out there, and then Uncle Taco was like, oh yeah, we want to talk to SF. And then SF comes up on my panel, and guess what? Uncle Taco drops. Uncle Taco drops. SF says, I would never have made those allegations unless I had information directly from the victim that was verifiable. SF, you talked about a babysitter. I saw that you mentioned a babysitter and him going across state lines with somebody. Is that the same person, or is there multiple, or can you not say? Because I know that SF, you would never say anything unless it was true, or you knew it was true. You know what I mean? Stryker, this is Tony's question of the day. Are we any closer to finding Sebastian than we were 7 months ago? Stryker says, I don't think so. Oh, Christ, SF. That's horrible. Oh. Notice CP fights his own battles. Sean always has to have everyone else fight it for him. Why? He's a whiner, no man. In your opinion? Oh, that's horrible. Now, SF, in your opinion, and I don't know anything about, dates on this or anything like that, but do you foresee that the victim, since you're in contact with one of the victims, are they interested in, and are they able to pursue something if they were taken advantage of, allegedly, when they were minors? Do you see anything coming from that? Because I know, some states, it's, the victim reaches a certain age, or, it's 10 years, or it's something like that. Do you know if it's been reported to LE at the very least? That's it, saying out loud. The statute of limitations. That's what I was wondering. Isn't that how Seth met Katie, through another girl he was dating? I don't know. That's good to know. Well, Skinny, I mean, you can't blame minors for things. That's why there's a statute where they can file when they're adults. Chai says that he came out swinging like a defendant as a retired parole officer. Thanks for your service, Chai. not an easy job. It depends on the state. Each state's different. That is being discussed with out-of-state authorities. Good. Well, if anybody's a victim, I'm always for them seeking justice. Do we know that for sure, though, Sweet Sativa? I don't know if that's ever been verified. I've never personally heard the story of how they met. Like, when they went on Coffin Daffer, when Tony and Seth went on Coffin Daffer, they were just like, oh, take us back to the wedding day. They didn't take us back to when they met. SF, have you ever heard the story of how they actually met? And how old Katie was? Because I know there's been several stories. I think Seth actually said in an interview that he taught her how to drive. Kind of like a father role. But then again, how much of that is accurate, you know?
Just help a brother out.
Thank you, T-Dub. Wondering about girl Uncle Taco's interview. I think that was kind of debunked, T-Dub. That was, well, Uncle Taco said that was his friend. You recall Sean saying she was 18, move on? Well, I do think that he did say that he taught her how to drive at 16. And then also, who debunked it? Well, I don't think it's officially debunked. That's just what they told us. And we don't know anything further. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know. All we can go off is we asked him who it was, and that's what he said. Not debunked it, but he told us. And then also, Seth worked for a Christian teen club back in the day. You heard it a church group too, Lovey. Thank you, SF, for that. I get that. He says, I have, but it's not my story to tell. I will just say she's a victim and leave it at that. I mean, that's really all the confirmation we need, and I do respect that as well. Yeah, I mean, even just the age gap tells us that, and that's what we've all been basing all of this on, you know, is just straight up the age difference. And then to boot, to, you know, kind of dredge up Katie's past and re-victimize her in that way. And it's just, yeah. I mean, I just don't know why we have to reiterate this. It's really obvious. The math didn't math. And you can say it was a different time or whatever. I just, We've all met people at 12. The fact that he married her later makes it questionable. Yeah. I don't meet someone at 12 and then later, like a few years later, find them sexually attractive. That's weird. Okay, let's keep going with the brainwashing.
To treat them with humanity if you can convince someone that they're a terrorist or a racist or a snake or whatever.
And we're not, see, and this is what we're not doing. I'm not sitting here trying to convince anybody of anything. I mean, I'm just taking this as they're talking to me. I don't know if they're talking to me. I don't know who the fuck they're talking to. I'm just taking it as they're saying it to me. But I haven't seen anybody do that to try to make a cult against Seth. Yeah, Chris seems very protective of her, and she needs that, honestly.
The word is it's a mind control type of tactic. It's very common in war. When you start hearing people referring to other countries in those kind of terms, usually means they're getting ready to go to war. But it happens in all kinds of places. So you start to hear that dehumanizing kind of language and those type of labels. People are trying to get you to feel comfortable treating that person less than you would a neighbor or any other citizen.
Or someone face to face.
Yeah, I mean, in this arena, that makes it even easier for people. Another is emotion. So if you are listening to anyone,
So, in other words, if you're not they're saying you wouldn't say anything to his face.
reading anything,
I would.
and you start to feel a very strong emotional response, that's a time to take a step back. Whether it's
Now, this I agree
sympathy,
with.
anger, fear, step back and consider what the person is trying to convey to you. Are they trying to elicit a reaction from you? What are they trying to activate you in some way?
I think these people need a break because they seem too emotionally invested. Now listen to this. He's going to talk about these little tribes. Listen.
Is about groupthink. And I think that's been very strong in this situation. You have these little tribes.
Who else is using, I've seen that somewhere else. Who just used that term groupthink? I saw that somewhere on YouTube in a title, groupthink. Who used that same term?
Is about groupthink. And I think that's been very strong in this situation. You have these little tribes that are developing, and people that question the narratives within those tribes really aren't welcome. They're ostracized and kicked out.
Wait, what? Who was it? The chick that does the podcast with Steven. Who's that? Body. Oh, that was her live? She said groupthink? And then these people come out and say groupthink?
So could we do the videos?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that might be new here or not a normal viewer of our channel that we don't tolerate being hateful to each other in chat. And mods, feel free to kick out whatever it is you guys do. Please feel free to do that. I'm seeing some stuff I don't care for in here because this is a safe space. It's fine to have a different opinion, but it's not good to be nasty about it. So.
Civil disagreements are totally welcome and fine. We're just not going to attack each other or any other creators. So we're not we're not a drama channel that way. There is this kind of overall issue.
That's funny because I'm blocked from Find Sebastian Rogers on Facebook.
That is worth, I think, thinking about as we kind of move forward, because I think we're seeing a lot of this.
That's a great. I like that. No prize on nice. That's
right.
Great. I love that, Criminal Mad. That's not to block you or kick you out. Maybe.
I don't know who's being hateful that Adam on Fired Up today.
Well,
that's okay. We don't. It's not necessary.
I've caught myself lately getting a little fired up about stuff too. Sure. So that kind of.
Maybe y'all need a break if you're getting fired up. What are you getting fired up about? Why are you so emotionally invested in Seth?
I've sparked this conversation between the two of us about, why are we fired up? We kind of,
yeah,
that's how we got down this path. So we thought it would be interesting.
So did you learn? Did you learn anything from it, though? Did you learn anything from it?
Welcome in. Nice to see you. To clarify, he said civil, not civil. Just
Body's thumbnail just says groupthink versus reality. Oh, it's just weird. They both use that same term.
Just act like you have manners. Exactly. We want this to be a safe space for everybody. And like we said, it's okay to have different opinions, but we don't like it when you're not nice to each other. So, okay. You want to play this first video, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's their first video.
Flickery Afoot said, "I've been here since before y'all decided on a name."
Oh,
so that's been a while.
That is so nice. Yeah.
Back when our sound wouldn't work for like a half hour.
Yeah.
Or first few live streams.
Well, I mean, they probably didn't see the roughest ones when we had one person in chat. Yeah. And we still miss you, Adrian, if you're out there.
If you're still out there lurking somewhere.
Adrian would have us, all three of us, our complete attention. So, all right. Let's see. So you want to play this one? No, right?
Well, not yet. Actually, I can skip that. So we'll go back to that later.
This is not the outline you gave me, sir.
I know. I meant to do that earlier.
Is this the one you want?
We'll go back to it.
The AC.
Yeah. So
this is not the outline you gave me, sir.
These are all about.
I just need to know first. Okay, go ahead and talk to chat while I get ready because I know you changed your mind on me. So
okay,
give me just a second. This one, right?
Yes, and you may have seen this before, but this is a wonderful example of what we're talking
about. Okay, I'm gonna try to make it big so it doesn't.
This is their example. Take a listen.
So everybody can see it real quick. Okay. All right.
But an experiment is not a public opinion poll. It examines behavior under the pressure of social forces, as the experiment of Solomon Asch reveals.
The experiment you'll be taking part in today involves the perception of lengths of lines. As you can see here, I have a number of cards, and on each card there are several lines. Your task is a very simple one. You're to look at the line on the left and determine which of the three lines on the right is equal to it in length. All right, we'll proceed in this order. You'll give your answer.
Only one of the people in the group is a real subject, the fifth person with the white t-shirt. The others are confederates of the experimenter and have been told to give wrong answers on some of the trials. The experiment begins uneventfully as subjects give their judgments.
Two, 3.
But on the third trial, Something happens.
MK Ultra shit.
2. 2. 2. 2.
The subject denies the evidence of his own eyes and yields.
Hey, body moving, body moving. They were just talking about groupthink, and I'm like, who else was talking about groupthink? And they were like, body moving, and then you showed up. So these two are talking about MK Ultra experiments, and I know I can't follow it either.
To group influence.
But they're saying that because the other person said a different answer, that the group will change. Watch. Beatles.
Ash found subjects went along with the group on 37% of the critical trials. But he found through interviews that they went along with the group for different reasons.
1.
Because they're all stoned. Because they're all fucking stoned. These people were all on LSD. You studied groupthink post-grad, and I think it's a big part of this case. Huh. They're using this example, but hey, Seth's relationship with Katie was in a different time. So true. Seth's group is the Merry Pranksters.
1. They must be right. There are 4 of them and 1 of me. 1.
This subject's yielding is based on a distortion of his judgment. He genuinely believes that the group is correct.
1. 1. 1. 2. 1. 2. 2. 2. I know they're wrong, but why should I make waves? 2.
In this case, the subject knows he is right, but goes along to avoid the discomfort of disagreeing with the group. Here, the distortion is at the level of his response.
2. 2. 2. 2.
In the previous experiment, the naive subject stood alone against the group. In this variation, Ash gave the naive subject a partner, here seated in the third position, who also gives the correct response.
1. 1. 2.
Yeah, he's comparing this to
1.
sub.
2.
With a partner, yielding drops to only 5% of the critical trials compared to 37% without a partner. Although subjects report warmth and good feeling toward the partner, they typically deny that he played a role in their own independence. The partnership variation shows that much of the power of the group came not merely from its numbers, but from the unanimity of its opposition. When that unanimity is punctured, the group's power is greatly reduced. Sometimes we go along with a group because what they say convinces us they are right. This is called informational conformity. But sometimes we conform because we are apprehensive that the group will disapprove if we are deviant. This is called normative conformity. The strength of the normative factor is shown in another variation carried out by Ash. In this variation, the subject is told that because he had arrived late, he would have to write his answers. Subjects in this private response experiment are exposed to the same amount of misleading information as other subjects, but they are immune from any possible criticism by the group.
1. 1.
Same.
1.
And this enormously reduces the pressure to conform. Conformity drops by 2/3. Ash's experiment is a classic. It reveals.
You know what I think? I think that they're just not paying attention. This would have been me in school. I would have been like, okay, what was the question? And I would just repeat. I don't think anybody in this case, I don't see this. I don't. I think that everybody thinks for themselves, and what they gravitate in their beliefs of what happened is where they're chatting about it. I think this is nothing but a huge distraction. Huge distraction. The Kathy lady says, this couple are just bad actors for politics. Just my opinion. It's all part of the plan. It is. It's a distraction. Bullhorn Betty, the only thing on camera was 2 flashlights going to a vehicle. So there was evidence of something, but what? I have theories, but it's not good. Can I just say, when I hear blatant lies about the Foots, I hate it just as much as when I hear blatant lies about Seth. Lies are not going to help in any direction. Ginger, sadly, I think some people live their entire lives behind a screen. They don't leave home or have much human contact. Maybe this is a result of their own trauma, so they're easily influenced by hate channels. What is considered a hate channel? And this person's challenging their research. Here's Tony. If that doesn't make you want to focus on the child, something is wrong with you. So they played this thing right here.
And its progress.
7 months have come and gone.
The search for missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers.
15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. He believes Sebastian is still alive. With no sight of missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers.
It's 7 months. It's almost been, after 6 months. I mean, it's just like I thought we would have found him by now. Month one was intense for the first half of it. It seemed like there was a lot of people that were on board trying to find Sebastian. And then after that, it became a circus.
15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went missing from his home in Hendersonville on February 26th. Several agencies spent more than a week searching the area around his home, including a landfill in Kentucky, before scaling the search back to an investigative format.
We are still committed to finding Sebastian and bringing him home safe. We have no leads, no details to indicate that Sebastian is not alive.
But community members continued bringing awareness by handing out flyers and posters. Following the search for Riley Strain, the United Cajun Navy came in to help, but in less than a week, pulled back their search efforts after several threats.
Just because you pick up a phone and start recording, you can either help with that or you can hinder.
Since they scaled back the search, Sumner County law enforcement have not reported any new information.
We get tips and stuff that were coming in. We didn't know if law enforcement was following up on them or not. And now that we have Dog's team, he has a whole team of attorneys, lawyers, private investigators.
Why did the attorneys and lawyers come first? Body says it's so weird to me that we both talked about this. Maybe they watched you, Body. Did you bring up those tests, though? Did you play those videos? They probably watched you.
The FBI recently announced a $50,000 reward for information following that announcement. Dog the Bounty Hunter joined in on the search, raising that reward to $100,000. But for now, Seth Rogers holds on to the hope that his son is still alive.
And every day I wake up hoping that I get the phone call today that, hey, we found Sebastian.
And clings to the 15 years of memories he shared with Sebastian.
I remember changing diapers. I remember making him bottles. I remember taking him swimming. I remember taking him fishing.
In Nashville, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna take that.
Obviously, people, seeing Sebastian's face. I mean, he's got that great smile. Everybody's.
What the fuck was that?
Obviously, people.
News 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this, Mr. E?
Yeah. So
I'm gonna take that.
Obviously, people, seeing Sebastian's face. I mean, he's got that great smile. Everybody's.
Aw.
Well, thank you, Legal Extraction with Julie McClellan, for becoming a member.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm enjoying all your thoughts here too.
Oh, what did I do? What did I do? I just started playing something crazy.
know that we made the business
Okay,
decision
stop.
to switch to ClickUp.
Did I stop?
It's gonna be worse when you're gone.
Okay, I know.
I'm not
right?
gonna do any videos when you're gone. It's just gonna be me talking. There's no way I'm gonna fool
Well, I
that.
think people would like that. I think I might be a distraction. Welcome to the Crime Dogs Legal Extraction with Julie McKellen. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. That means a lot to us.
Yes, thank you so much. And so when you watch the video, of course, people are going to be reminded of the Sebastian story. There's that part of it is just the emotional pull. Everybody wants this kid found. That's 100%.
Of course we do.
People felt very comfortable with their masks on, and I think to Mama Bear, some appreciate that, but
Harley
not
Riders.
You have to confirm that.
an FBI
At the very end here.
to
hold
also
on.
would have 2 lawyers involved in some kind of fraud or something if you were faking these timesheets. So impossible. And both of those lawyers are real.
Wait, where is the new flyer at? Here it is. Okay, here we go.
Good. I hope there's some resolution.
Oh, look at Don B says FBI now investigating stalking and cyberbullying. Hope to see charges soon. Don B, who followed Candace Wells around, and she filed an RO against him. This guy who claims he talks to the FBI and calls the FBI and says, "Hey, FBI, is Eric Craddock doing his job?"
Solution there. That this shouldn't be this way.
Oh, Karen sent this. Awesome.
good.
Awesome.
It was different
I'll
for
put
me.
it up. I'll put it up. You keep talking.
So this is just a thought I'd had on all of this over.
She's talking about Karen Strom, Jaden's mom. Karen, the one that's ran the Facebook from the beginning. Karen, who has me blocked. Jay, did you see Don B's super weird post about people who live in motels? I did not see that one. Fucking weirdos.
Overall, a lot of what's going on with the targeting of people, the really over the top real life harassment, and all that. Where it's not just covering the case anymore; it's just about cruelty and sadism, right? I think the only way it's really going to stop ultimately is when a lawsuit comes against Google. I think that's ultimately what will happen. And unfortunately, I don't know that they're going to preemptively take care of it. They should be shutting this kind of thing down now because they have policy.
I did see that, Body. People who live in motels, does it have anything to do with Sebastian? I would like to know. That's weird.
Policies against the cyberbullying and all that stuff. They just don't enforce any of it. But eventually, something terrible is going to happen to someone in real life where someone was brainwashed into hating some other creator.
It has happened.
But then somebody's going to bring the lawsuit, and they're not just going to sue the creator. They're going to take Google to task for it. So eventually, that's going to what happens, and that's the only way it's ever going to change. Is when they have to pay the piper.
You responded, people who eat vegetables. Does it have anything to do with Sebastian? I'd like to know.
To someone, and then they'll put in policy. Unfortunately, I wish they would do it proactively, but I don't. They haven't yet, so there's no reason to believe they will.
So again, here we have the new Ride and Prayer Vigil flyer, November 9th at 2 p.m. In honor of Sebastian Rogers, we warmly invite everyone in the community and surrounding to a ride followed by a prayer vigil for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sebastian was last seen on February 25th, which is wrong, the 26th, in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. This is a time to raise awareness, bridge our differences, and embrace the power of prayer. Motorcycles, Jeeps, and all vehicles welcome. Kickstands up. Meet at 2. Kickstands up at 3 at the Fallen Brewery. And then the prayer vigil is at the conclusion like it was before. And then you can't see the bottom, but it's just Jacob's Audibles. No Michaela's Mutt Motel this time. But yeah, they're saying, oh, this is going to be lawsuits and people that are, I'm telling you. Who does he think he is? Using psychology to make people believe him.
But some kind of lawsuit like that makes them hurt and feel the pain, I think is the only way it's going to change.
Really?
All right. So we have
that. I don't someone, and then they'll put in policy. Unfortunately, I wish they would do it proactively, but I don't. They haven't yet, so there's no reason to believe they will. But some kind of lawsuit like that makes them hurt and feel the pain, I think is the only way it's going to change.
All right. So we have a new Vigil announcement. Well, Don, I hope you're staying safe out of the weather and out of any people following you or bullying you.
Yeah, for sure.
Don, we hope you're staying away from people following you and bullying you.
That's awful. So this is the vigil coming up. So I know a lot of you wanted to go to the last one and weren't able to do it. It's at the same location, and
I'm gonna try to make it bigger. I'm gonna take us off the screen.
Yeah, so November 9th, 2 p.m.
Let me take Don's thing down so we can see it better.
It's all written a little bit differently, actually.
I'm gonna try to make it. I'm gonna zoom in a bit.
I like the pitch on it. We warmly invite everyone in the community and surrounding to a ride followed by a prayer vigil for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sebastian was last seen on February 25th, 2024 in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. This is a time to raise awareness, bridge our differences, and embrace the power of prayer. Motorcycle, Jeeps, and all vehicles welcome. The ride is at 2 p.m. Kickstands up at 3 p.m. And this is at the Fallen Brewery. So it's the same location that they did the last vigil that we were able to go to. And then the prayer vigil will also be at the conclusion of the ride. And it looks like Jacob's
Audible's going to be there again. And
there.
You know what? I just realized. I think I forgot to send him the footage from the last vigil.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a bad person.
You're supposed to send that.
Yes, I was supposed to. I think I just remembered that.
So his charity was
Sorry.
great. He was working with that, and then the guys that run that Fallen Brewery were awesome too.
They were and that was a fun place to go.
Yeah, it's a cool little.
We brought our
spot.
son who has autism with us, and he was having a ball playing with the games and stuff.
See that? We brought our son who has autism. Always tugging those fucking heartstrings.
And he had a nice place to walk around, which is great for us because he's always moving. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, yeah, we'll definitely put this up on our on our community page and all of our social media so you guys can see it. And that was going to be on November 9th at 2 p.m. And that's awesome. Oh, Don said we sure missed the bad weather here. Well, I thought you were up near where all the flooding is.
Is he? East Tennessee or somewhere else. I'm not sure.
I thought he was up near Sevierville.
That's what I kind of thought.
Isn't that where a lot of the? Well, it's a little bit.
How do they know where he lives? And why are they talking about where Don lives? The fuck?
North of him, isn't it? Well, I thought the Little Pigeon, was it Little Pigeon or Pigeon River that flooded?
Newport, wherever Newport. That's where they had the dam break. But it may not be that the weather was so bad. It's just, or not, like
Right.
the dam. The dam was the
Right.
problem.
The dam was the problem. Oh, 20 miles from me got it bad. Okay. I understand. Oh, Sandy's coming back in town for October 10th. Sandy, I will not be in town on October 10th. I have had a vacation plan with my friends for a year. So, unfortunately. So Newport and Unicoi. That's right.
That'll be another interesting date, that October 10th, because of
that will be
you'll have all those people back in a room together again. Of course, that's interesting.
I was wondering that too, Mrs. Smith. Thanks, Sin, for supporting my channel. I just feel like
and since we're
yeah, but you can't go by the Texas Roadhouse video. LE stated the 26th for a reason and said he was seen in the area of Stafford Court, not last seen in his home on the 25th. That's a change in the narrative, in my opinion.
We're talking about this overall perception and PR and everything. It's still incredible to me that they took her to court over this protective order. It was such a short-sighted misstep on their part, because
they said that, okay, so these people are not spreading a narrative. Excuse me.
The court over this protective order. It was such a short-sighted misstep on their part.
A short-sighted misstep on the Proudfoot's part to enforce the order against Betty.
Just the public perception of going after a lady that's been advocating for your child every day, even if she suspects you of being involved as a journalist and everything, and then later throwing her in jail on the day of your son's vigil. That kind of public relations is a nightmare disaster. So incredibly foolish.
And it's not. And again, I want to go with the fact that I know that we're all here on YouTube together, but we are in a YouTube bubble. When you close these computers or shut off these phones, the perception of the people out here is what matters.
Yes.
We're small. We're a small percentage compared to everyone else out here.
Yeah. The people invested in this on YouTube, or they're probably like 20,000 people or so that are 20 to 30,000 that kind of check in with it regularly. But that's also spread all over the globe. Some of it. I mean, there's people in.
So they've really done an analytics check as well. Oh, about 20,000 people, give or take, are, following this case across the globe.
Europe and Australia and everywhere watching this case. And so it's when you kind of dilute and think it's just such a tiny part of the population. We're
I don't know if he's ever said what he does.
The people that watch that mainstream
You're in a
news
damn
and know
bubble.
Dog the Bounty Hunter and read the paper. Those are the people that look at moves like that and just it makes them look crazy suspicious to have done that. So it was a huge misstep by them PR wise.
Sandy, we met Sandy at court last time. And she's the one that was very sweet to us. She says, but are we making a difference? I hope.
I don't know.
I actually think in a weird,
Sandy was at court.
I'll tell you what I think it is that I think a lot of media looks to YouTube on what to cover.
They do.
And I think that, maybe our chats and things don't matter to them, but I do think the stories that get covered and the angles that get covered are often replicated.
No, they're not replicated, you dumbass. No, they're not. The only mainstream, if you even want to call them mainstream, that's covering this is News Nation. I haven't seen them on Good Morning America. I haven't seen them on Dateline. I haven't seen them on any of those mainstream shows. Have you? Court TV, which is a cable network. But other than that, this hasn't been on mainstream.
On news stories, which is fine, great. But I think
the only other mainstream was TMZ, and that was when Dog came on the scene. We've heard Tony saying, "Oh, we're trying to get on Good Morning America," since May. Since May.
You know, I also think there's a lot of people here too that, you know, that are moved within our tiny YouTube bubble, that are moved to do these things, to have vigils, to make flyers, to put out signs, to hand out flyers, to
Do the
search,
green light bulbs
to
and all
search.
that, yeah.
There's been a lot of people out searching lately. It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
More than
To get light bulbs and all that.
barrier. Keep searching. Keep searching.
Yeah, the other mainstream would be local news. Exactly. They've never had a major network cover this. So how is I guarantee you, if you talk to someone that's not in Tennessee, who isn't on YouTube, they would not know who Sebastian Rogers is. Unless maybe they heard about it from Dog the Bounty Hunter. But you might have to, bring up Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah, the light bulbs. Betty is selling green light bulbs through her YouTube channel.
But I do think that this bubble can make a difference.
Right. I think more like the opinions within our
Right.
bubble,
That's what I mean.
may not have as much of an impact
Right.
as just the volume of awareness and action and everything, maybe.
Mhm.
And the thing too is you just never know. Do you think of the example I hear all the time from others is the Gabby Petito was basically because of the social media awareness of her story. Somebody went and checked their GoPro when they'd been driving by, and even more recently, there was the kid that had schizophrenia in Michigan. I think he was 20 years old or 19 or whatever, had disappeared for 3 months. And then social media found him at a party in Florida, and not off his medicine, someone with schizophrenia, so that was wonderful. So you don't know. We never know someone new here finding this channel or any other channel. They might have a piece of information.
We're keeping, there's awareness. There's awareness about the child, keeping his face out there, keeping his information out there. It's all very important.
Anyone might have a piece of video or had seen something the night he disappeared and not realized it was important.
Right. That happens.
It happens.
That does definitely happen.
So
who's Ryan? He sounds like Ryan. Who's Ryan?
You just don't know, but you try, you keep trying, you keep putting the flyers out there, and you just don't know what somebody may have seen.
Let's see.
I mean, a lot of the things about his disappearance in my opinion, appear sloppy. Some mistakes were made. So these aren't perfect criminals. So I suspect that they've made other mistakes that we don't know about.
Hold on one second.
Okay, so we're gonna switch gears from them, but I did want to highlight that they're talking about this brainwashing shit and this new vigil that's coming up. And notice there was no price on there. From Ryan Feinstein. I don't know who he is. Oh, is he the one that was looking for summer? That's weird that there's no flyers allegedly in Clarksville. Wow. Betty's second box. I can't believe the sheeple. They all have their cult red flags. It's so weird. Flo. But yeah, I mean, it's important to know what, because I don't follow them because I don't follow their narrative. Right? Their narrative is not one I want to follow. So I don't watch them. But it's interesting to see that, they're saying people are being brainwashed. No peppering in Clarksville, I guess. So the next thing I want to bring your attention to is Slivers. And we're not going to spend a lot of time on his ass. But he's saying that he went to Chris Proudfoot's job and found out the following things. And he heard it from, hang on, let me find where he says it. Hang on, I got to find the spot. I don't want to subject you to more than you need to. Okay, listen to this. So he's saying that he talked to a coworker of Chris Proudfoot's. He went to St. Jude's.
Okay, but we're not 100% sure on that. Okay, what's next? Shady.
You are shady, sir.
Shady, not to trust. The words I was told were this. I believe he's a shady person. and would not trust anything he says or does. Would not trust anything he says or does. That's really not revelation, because we've all heard him in his interviews where we see him or where he calls into channel.
He's saying that Chris's co-worker said he is shady and cannot be trusted.
Or podcasts or ever how he's talking, you know.
Unbelievable.
This is allegedly in my opinion, but at the same time, I don't know Chris Proudfoot. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him. All I have to go on are his own words and behaviors.
And that's all we have to go on with Seth Rogers as well.
And I've said this before. Go back, find some videos. His words and behaviors make him unlikable. Make him suspect in this entire scenario. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one. I saved it. I put it kind of in the middle. Relieved
so
at 11 a.m. Yeah, there's that pause. Let me pause a little longer. Relieved at 11 a.m. Chris was deemed unsafe on the job site. Yeah, you heard me right. Unsafe. Safety risk for himself and others. That is a big job he does. If you don't understand tower crane operator, let's just throw this picture right here back up. You see how tall these things are? You see that these buildings are made with iron. These are iron beams, steel beams that are lifted up by these cranes that Chris operates. So what I'm saying is, if you got to be clear-headed, you got to be sharp and focused. And evidently Chris is. He wouldn't be doing this job. Let's give him credit. Evidently he's sharp and focused, and he can operate one of these. He's up there. He's way up there himself operating this thing. But on this day, we don't want that reveal. Hold on. On this day, at 11 a.m., 4.5 hours. That's right, 4.5 hours after reporting his stepson missing, meaning three-way call with Katie, 6:30 a.m. Not only is he still working, he's still working at 11 a.m. We'll talk about that in a minute. But he was relieved because he was not focused.
Okay. Even if he wasn't focused, would you be focused if your stepson was missing and you couldn't leave work until someone was there to relieve you? Like he said, he's got iron beams. They're in the middle of working. He's got to have someone that can sit in that crane and take over. He can't just up and leave and run off the job site. This is why Chris has a job. Right, exactly. Who's the father that's held down a job?
Not focused, off. OFF. He was off. On the same day, his step.
Wouldn't he be off on the same day that his stepson disappeared? I mean, how was he supposed to act, slivers? Your sliver of hair on your head? I don't even know what time Chris got there, but I think it was like 1 o'clock. So I don't even believe that he was working till 11. But he knows so much, right?
Stepson goes missing. So he was relieved. Chris wants to tell you, everyone listen, myself.
Okay, apparently Chris never told anyone Sebastian was missing. Right. Why would he? Do you think he's going to jump down from his crane and go, my stepson's missing? No, he's going to tell his boss on the radio, I need relief. My stepson's missing and he's not back. Right? He's not back.
And anyone who will listen, that the reason he didn't get home till 1:30 or 2, leaving the job site at 11, I don't know if he specifically said 11, but he probably did, was because no one was there to relieve him. BS. Allegedly, in my opinion, but hey.
Oh, BS. Allegedly, in my opinion.
I've been told there were more than one relievers. There was at least one reliever and possibly two on the site that day. Come on, Chris. Let's move on. Arrived 6:30 a.m. Chris wants to make you believe 5:15. Why would he need to be at the job? Let's think about this for a second. Why would a tower crane operator, when no daylight is up, it is dark, why would he need to be on the job site at 5:15? I think you've seen some other creators go out there and see that others may show up, inside workers, drywall workers, many different types of construction people at 5:15. What I was told is there would be no reason to be there before 6:30 a.m. And then you're going to start in your crane around 7.
Okay, well, the same can be said for Seth. Why was Seth in the parking garage at 6 p.m. when he didn't have to fucking work until 7? Who goes to a jail an hour early?
6:30 is when he's reporting his stepson.
Yeah, they just have two random guys just sitting there waiting.
Why tell us it's 5:15? Come on, Chris. Focus off. OFF, unlike other days. I told you, I'm going to give Chris credit. I will give people credit whenever I can. I'd like to give Chris a lot of credit. Chris, you're listening.
No, you don't. So my point is, this guy's full of shit, right? of course you're going to be off if your stepson's missing, right? You're going to be fucking off. All right. For sake of time, we're going to move over to SF. I want to show you guys the latest in the search. I know, isn't that funny? I don't know. Was it supposed to be? He retweeted it. But let's take a look at SF since he's been in Tennessee. "23 hours ago. You don't know. I don't know what that's all about. Hold on. This is 23 hours ago. There seems to be a break in the weather, so I'm heading back out to search for Sebastian in Hendersonville. I have extended my trip till Monday. It's unfortunate I have to spend my free time defending myself against frauds like missing 911. He went on a campaign against me because I refused to include him in my cases. I'm not trying to be a one-person show. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who missing 911 is. But he's staying till Monday. Is that tomorrow? So he might help with the flooding. Okay, here is an updated drone mapping for the Sebastian Rogers case. A land area to the east has been added, as well as a section of Long Hollow Road. The unfortunate reality is that all options need to be explored. We are now mapping 100 feet on either side of the main roads in case Sebastian was walking the roadway that night in all black and was involved in a hit and run, possibly ending off to the side of the road. It's tragic to think about, but it is the reality we must face. The updated map can be viewed at the link below. Due to time constraints, I have not yet scanned the roadways. Okay, I would like to note that Chris and Katie searched with us all day yesterday. They were present when we mapped Long Hollow and are aware of the reasoning behind it. Everyone hopes that Sebastian will be found safe and that someone may have him, but all possibilities need to be explored. I continue to believe that if this is not an abduction, Sebastian will be found within 150 feet of a road or an established walking path in the woods or near a creek. He is unlikely to be deep in the terrain. The footage we have released may appear to show deep woods, but it's all within 150 feet of a road or grassy area that can be easily walked, even without shoes. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to Stephen, Cletus, and Clue for showing up every day, putting in long hours, and showing such dedication to Sebastian. And I second that. Thank you guys so much. I also want to thank Crimson for coming out on her day off to help with the search. Thank you, Crimson. The dedication of these individuals is truly heartwarming. Additionally, I thank Chris and Katie for not only searching with us, but also for sitting down to answer all our questions with honesty and willingness to cooperate. I will continue mapping the other roads today and then leave for Eastern Tennessee, where assistance and thermal drones are urgently needed to locate the missing and their pets. Okay, let's check this out. Oh, I have to create an account? Hold on. I got to make an account to log into this. It's Pix4D. Oh, I can't view it. What the heck? Okay, let's try that again. Oh, hang on. I gotta freaking verify my email. Hold on a second. Do. Okay, let's try this now. No, I can't view it. It appears you have no rights to this resource. Is SF here? It didn't work for you either? He needs to fix the access. Oh, damn it. I guess we can look at that another time. I want to see it. So, yeah, I mean, he's posted a lot about this 911 guy. He's been DMing women to lure them into visiting him? Ew. Despite the horrible weather conditions, we made progress today. We spent a few hours with Chris and Katie at their home. They were completely forthcoming and helpful. I spent over 2 hours with Katie yesterday as well. They continue to provide critical context into Sebastian's disappearance. Seems like Chris and Katie are... Look at Georgia. Are you being paid by the Proudfoots or are you doing a freebie PR for PR purposes? He says, that's none of your business. I'm searching for Sebastian Rogers. That's the only thing that matters. True that. All right, guys. Go do some yoga. You tweeted him that it wasn't public. He just needs to make it public. I can't wait till he does. Thanks. Body moving. Guys, check out Body Moving. I got to check out your stuff. You guys, make sure you hit that like button. I am out of here for now. I've got some stuff to do. But have a great Sunday. And hopefully we get some more news in the search for Sebastian. Sebastian Rogers is still missing. We need to remind everybody of that. He's 15 years old. Autism. And we have a lot of creators out there spreading some weird narratives. Oh, he's going to sort it out? You're not annoying, Body. But Body, I would love to hear more about this groupthink thing. I think I'm going to listen to that today. True Crime and Other Stuff has a premiere tonight at 10 about P. Diddy. And SF, yes, please pass our love and prayers to Chris and Katie. I really have no words. I just hope that you guys can find Sebastian. I wish I had Granny's exit to play, but I don't. So until the next one, guys, I'll see you. Everybody have a great Sunday. Stay safe. Be vigilant. And don't fall for the bullshit. And thanks, SF, for all you've done. Thank you, Clue. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Cletus, for keeping Sebastian's name out there, for searching for him. Everything you guys have done. You guys are awesome. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye, Striker. Bye, moderators.